I'm delighted to have this opportunity to address the opening session of the second Global Conference on Agriculture, Food Security and Climate Change. Apologies that I cannot be with you all in person, but I send good wishes for a successful conference and my thanks to Minister Phat and the conference organisers, Vietnam and the Netherlands, and their partners, the FAO and the World Bank. Previous speakers will, I'm sure, have tackled the key objectives of the conference: the need to scale up the implementation of climate-smart agriculture, the need to establish early action plans to identify and scale up best practice, and the critical need to promote a landscape or integrated approach that addresses the linkages between agriculture, land, and sustainable forest management. As you begin your week of deliberations, I invite you to take a step back from conference speak and explore with me the themes of the conference through the eyes of a smallholder farmer. What are the needs of a smallholder farmer in Bangladesh, whose rice crop cannot survive in the salinated water of recurrent floods? Is it access to new strains of rice? Where will he or she find information about these? How does he or she access the credit to purchase the seeds? In sub-Saharan Africa, women contribute between 60 and 80% of the labour for food production. How can a Ugandan smallholder meet the food and nutritional needs of her family when unpredictable seasons make it increasingly difficult to know when to plant her cereal crop? How can she ensure her family is well nourished when she lacks access to the diversity of foods she needs? Any approach that seeks to address the multifaceted challenges posed by climate change to agriculture and food security must begin with a people-centred approach. It's only by looking at these issues from the perspective of a smallholder farmer or a vulnerable household that you begin to understand what needs to be done. That is the human rights approach. The high-level panel of experts on food security and nutrition recognized this in its June 2012 report, Food Security and Climate Change, when it stated that research on agriculture should fully integrate climate adaptation and mitigation, requiring, and I quote, meaningful engagement and involvement from the start with farmers and the intended beneficiaries, and a genuine dialogue to understand their needs. The challenge facing all who are represented at this conference, from government, civil society, the research and scientific communities, and the private sector, is to work across disciplines to find appropriate solutions. People's needs don't fall into neat boxes: agriculture, forestry, jobs, nutrition, water. They are linked and often inseparable. For example, women's capacity to address the health and nutrition risks resulting from climate change must be enhanced through greater gender equity. This requires improved access to education, land, information, technologies, credit, and social protection systems. This conference falls at an opportune time. While the outcome document of the UN Conference on Sustainable Development, Rio+20, was disappointingly weak in many areas, it did recognize that climate change further threatens food security, and that adaptation to climate change represents an immediate and urgent global priority. Since then, global food security has worsened, and food prices are rising at a worrying rate. The outcome of this conference can have a positive influence on the post-2015 agenda and moves towards sustainable development goals at a critical time in their development. Similarly, the communiqué adopted here can inform the UNFCCC negotiations, in particular the debate on issues relating to an agricultural work programme scheduled to take place in COP18 in Doha in less than 3 months' time. There is today an acceptance that climate change is one of the greatest challenges to food security, reducing the productivity of existing food systems and threatening the livelihoods of those who are already vulnerable to food insecurity. As you embark on your discussions, my message to you is a simple one. Let the needs of smallholder farmers and vulnerable households be your starting point, and indeed be central to all your discussions. Thank you.